Hi, everybody. Are you guys there? Just say a hi if you're here. So if I see something on the chat, I know that there are people around. And we'll just spend a little bit of time waiting for others to join also. Hi. Hi. How have you all been in this time, last 4-5 months? How has it been going? Hi, good morning. Shahana, Leron. Hi. Hi, I'm here. Good morning. So yes, it's really nice to see everyone here. And looking forward to have a nice meditation session and a nice chat. Hi Sanjeev, hi Deepak, hi Bhakti. How have you all been? How has it been going? And we'll have a small question and answer time at the end of our session. So you can tell me more and we can interact a little more then also. We'll have some space for interaction at the end of it. I'm still getting used to seeing my face and talking. So it's still going on. Okay. So I think we can start. So, of course, today is Mindfulness Day, and that's the occasion that we are all here, and we are all here having a conversation about mindfulness. But as most of you who know me know that it's really been a mental health journey and a mental health understanding for me. How mindfulness really sort of gets integrated into life and why is it meaningful in life. And what we have seen as a mental health center also through the last 5 months is that it's not just a physical pandemic that we are looking at, we are also looking at a mental health pandemic. We are also looking at the fact that there are more and more people who are relapsing into things that they were recovering from. We have more people calling us saying that they're feeling a purposelessness in life, a pointlessness in life, feeling overtaken by this whole thing, more relationship issues, more violence and aggression in homes. So it really gets one thinking. I mean, it's not new, but it really gets one thinking that why something that is a physical threat is also becoming a deep sort of a mental threat. And it's not just people affected by COVID and just the fear of COVID. There seems to be also a fear of just being at home alone. There's just also a fear of feeling lonely, of having to stay with family or stay with people in relationships where there were some issues, and now they have all sort of come out in full glory because. Our relationship with those issues was not so clear, and now it has become clearer because we have been forced to stay with it. So I feel that, and I say this all the time, even in my work, in my therapy, is that if we really, really question the core of why we are going through a mental health crisis or why we even have these uneasy mental health phases in life, it boils down to how resilient we are when things don't work the way we want them to work. How resilient are we when life doesn't go its usual way? So it's laying bare our relationship with change, it's laying bare our relationship with life, and it's laying bare our relationship with ourselves. And relationship being the key word, because it's not that we are supposed to be superhuman and get over all our troubles and never go down with troubles. That's not the point. But the point is, when we are in trouble, when something is threatening us, when things are not working our way, what is our relationship with that thing? And what is that relationship with ourselves in that time? How are we relating? And often it appears like our minds are in the driving seat, telling us how this is not good for us, how we are not doing things well enough, or how our circumstances are unsupportive. And we believe in that mind, and then it's a downward spiral. So it seems like if we have to examine our relationship with life and ourselves, we have to really see things for what they are. And it keeps pointing me back to the core teaching of the Buddha, which is the first noble truth, right? The teaching that there is dissatisfaction. Things will not go right. Pain is inevitable. It's a core basic teaching, and it is the um, number one secret to real resilience. The understanding that things will go wrong in life and the okayness with it. So the sense of victimization, that why me, shifts in resilient people to why not me? Why am I any different? Why would something happen to someone not happen to me? And it changes our relationship with fear. And going beyond that, the important thing to understand is that this resilience, this ability to say, why not me, is only possible if our relationship with fear is is a relationship of some compassion and understanding. When we understand that we will be afraid, when we are okay to sit with being afraid. So resilience then ultimately boils down to this ability to be, just stay. And I feel mindfulness practice is the practice of cultivating this ability to just stay. All that we are doing in our practices, can we rest and stay with whatever comes, whatever. We don't question what comes. And it's not that we don't make an attempt to change it or shift it, but before we make any attempt, for some time, can we build our resilience? Can we simply stay? So, in the face of potential loss, grief, in the face of inadequacy, in the face of fear, it doesn't matter what it is. Can I stay? Can I simply be? And that is the core of our work. And therefore, the entire mental health scenario, so to say, the entire understanding of mental health is mentally healthy people are people who can be resilient, and resilient people are those who can stay with whatever. And the good part of this is that it's not meant for just a few people. It's not that resilience is not everybody's cup of tea. It's only the cup of tea of a few people. That's not true. Resilience is everybody's cup of tea. And again, the seed for wisdom. This is again part of the philosophy, part of the teachings of the Buddha, that everybody has a core seed of wisdom, a core Buddha nature. Buddha nature is the nature of being aware and the nature of being perfectly resilient, perfectly steady. Everybody has that nature. Each human being, no matter how distracted we are. And maybe our practices may be different. Somebody may sit and meditate, somebody who's too restless may have to walk, somebody who's too anxious may have to lie down, somebody may need a word or a visualization. That can be changed depending on the nature of the person. But the core of all these practices is that we stay. We learn to be here now. If we are shut off in a room with no stimulation, we have capacity to stay. And that's the capacity that we are developing. And like I said, we all have the seed, but the seed has to be watered, the seed has to be put in a fertile soil of, we are already putting it by attending these kind of talks, by orienting ourselves, we are already giving it conditions, helpful conditions. So it has to be put in a fertile soil, it has to be given sunshine, water, and then the most important thing, patience, because it won't sprout when we want it, it will sprout when it has to. So what we are doing in our practice today is we are simply going right to the crux of the practice and saying that, okay, we will just try to stay. No matter what, we will try to stay. Thoughts come, okay, we'll stay. Legs go to sleep, we'll stay. We feel uneasy and restless, we stay. And like this, we practice throughout our lives all the time. We try to stay. And the beauty is, and this is from personal experience, that sometimes things that really hurt us or affect us or bother us, initially they may hurt us, but then in a little time, quickly, they become opportunities to notice what is going on inside and then to cultivate again the practice of staying. So our practice helps us to deal with things. The way we deal with things helps us to deepen our practice, and everything starts to kind of complement each other. So that is what we are going to do today. We will do a 20-minute practice now, and then we will uh, get into any question answers. If you have any, there are some common questions that people ask, I could discuss them, and then we will wrap up our mindfulness day session today. So just take some time, stretch out a bit, maybe stretch your hands, stretch your legs, getting ready for practice. Give yourself some space to get ready for practice. Maybe ease your shoulders a little. See that you're breathing in a settled way. You're comfortable. And then we remember that the only thing we are trying to do in our practice today is we are trying to stay. And thoughts will come and distract us, but we simply come back. We can't help the thoughts. So we don't try to do anything with the thoughts or the feelings or the emotions. We simply know that they are there and we come back. So those of you who've been, I know some of you have been meditating with me for a while, and some of you are probably new here. Those of you who have been meditating for a while, maybe it would be good to take this time to establish more focus. So try and stay around the nose area when you're breathing and keep noticing the breath around the nose. So when you reduce the portion of attention, your attention kind of gets sharper. And in order to stay with difficult things, we need sharp attention because we need to know what we are paying attention to. For those of you who have come the first time or who have not been meditating for a while, simply notice your breath. Maybe you can notice it in your chest because your chest is moving, inhaling, exhaling, or you can notice it in your stomach or belly when it's moving, rising and falling, or you can notice it in your nose. So, wherever you know your breath, just take one area and just stay with it. And I will be anyway guiding the practice. Okay, ready? Okay, let's start. At the sound of the bell, we will practice for 20 minutes, and at the end of 20 minutes, I will ring the bell again and I will just set my timer for 20 minutes. So let's spend the beginning of our practice simply relaxing and easing, letting go of the inertia of whatever we are carrying at this moment. With every out breath, simply let go. For a few breaths, maybe just breathe in deeply. And with the out breath, let go. Relax. Free yourself. There's nothing to carry right now. These few minutes are just time to be, just time to stay as you are. Not stay in a particular way, not be in a particular way. Simply rest. Another deep in breath and release. And as you release, ease the body, ease the mind. Let the thoughts rest. No matter what you're going through life, at this point, in these 20 minutes, there's nothing to solve, plan, fix, or figure out. Nothing at all. You're simply resting. And the present moment is holding space for you. Now, in this energy of restfulness and ease, let's start easing off the muscles of our body. With one out breath, just relax your face, the area between the eyebrows that holds tension, the forehead. Send a softening to the muscles of the face. With another out breath, ease off the shoulders and the neck. Your eyes are either closed or they're just open a little bit with your gaze down on the ground in front of you, whatever is comfortable for you. With another out breath, your back is relaxed. You're not holding any tension in the upper back, lower back, at least as far as possible. Relax your hips, your legs. If you're sitting on a chair, see that your feet are flat on the ground. And if you're sitting on a cushion like me, just fold your legs and sit comfortably. This ease in the practice is very important to experience because it's a practice of joy. It's a practice which gets you in touch with the underlying ease or nothingness, peace that is our true nature. When our thoughts don't come in and hijack our attention, we are simply at peace. There's nothing, there's no stress. So, experiencing that, and while we are at ease, our back is straight, not rigid, soft but straight, and we are watchful and alert. We are aware of each breath that comes in and goes out. Breathing in, we are aware we are breathing in. And breathing out, we are fully aware we are breathing out. And we try to remain as aware of our breath as is possible. There is a quality of effort in watching the breath, in not allowing the mind to take over. But the effort is gentle and kind, knowing that sometimes the mind will take over and we simply have to come back. Using the silence to simply stay, noticing how the mind reacts to silence. Does it get filled up with thoughts? Do you get distracted? And if you do, it's most natural. But it's an opportunity to come back. And every time you come back, that's one step towards staying, one step towards resilience, coming back from the mental chatter. bringing your attention back to what is happening now and staying with it. Simply reminding yourself that the breath is the anchor that is always present. And no matter how distracted you get or how lost in thoughts, you can always come back to the breath. When too many thoughts cross your mind, simply smile at them. It's an opportunity to see how the mind works, how it tries to sway us in this direction and that. But also, it's an opportunity to come back, to make that shift, to put in that gentle effort to be here, to make it stay with nothing stimulating, to help it learn that there is joy in just being. There is peace right now, here. We have last 4 minutes of the practice. And we come back with renewed effort. As we sit on the cushion, and sometimes it's difficult for us to stay, we notice that this is what happens to us in life. The need to move is so wired in our system. The need to move away is so deep. And so we work with ourselves with this understanding that we are addressing something that's deeply wired. It's not easy. And yet, that is the way forward. That is our path. And our friend on that path is kindness and compassion. Only when we understand that we are working with a deeply wired state of craving stimulation, wanting to move, getting caught up in thinking, we are working with very, very deep patterns. And when we come back, it's difficult work. And so we are very, very compassionate and very kind to ourselves when we falter, when we make mistakes, and even when we come back, we are gentle. And that's the quality of our practice: peace, gentleness, ease, but a continuous effort. A continuous effort to build true resilience in our bodies and in our mind. We come to the end of our practice, taking a few deep breaths, and we can open our eyes at the sound of the bell. Okay. It was lovely meditating together. And now we are open for any questions. Maybe you can tell me how your practice was, any difficulties, or even any insights. Happy Mindfulness Day, Jason. How was your practice? Maybe we can begin there. How did it go? Am I starting weekly meditation sessions? Not weekly. Thank you. I'm glad you had a good practice. Great. I'm very happy it was peaceful. Not weekly, but in October, we are planning to have a 3 week kind of establishing your practice kind of sessions, which are 3 weeks continuously. And the intention of the sessions are that we re-establish ourselves in our practice, and we work from a framework of building more resilience. So we are going to do that in October. So we'll send you information about it. Wonderful. I'm so glad you had a good practice. Mood swings are happening pretty regularly. Yes, I understand. Mhm. What kind of mood swings? When you say mood swings, are you saying that you feel happy suddenly and then just it just goes off suddenly? Is that what you're saying? Okay. Okay, I'll answer your question, Sanjana. Happy and then angry. Right, right. Happy and then angry. Um, what are mood swings? Okay, we have to first understand. It's a deeper question. What are mood swings? Mood swings are feeling states that move from one feeling state to another in our system, right? When we say happy, we have to also see if we are really saying that we are feeling at peace, we are joyful and blissful, or we are holding on to some pleasure and calling that happiness. If it is pleasure, then the chances are that it works as a spike. That's the nature of pleasure, right? For instance, I really like someone, and I spend great time with them today, and I feel really happy. Or I spend great time with them for a few minutes, and I feel really happy. Then it's conditional. It's pleasure. It's not happiness. It's conditional on the fact that when this person is not there, I'm not happy. Or if this person is not nice to me, I'm not happy. Or if this person is not the way I want them to be, then it's not happy. Or only with this person I'm happy. Otherwise, I'm not happy. So, what starts to happen is when we confuse pleasure and happiness, then we feel we are having a mood swing. But actually, we are simply moving from the spike of the pleasure to back to life, which is irritating. Because now that that is not there, we are not happy. So sometimes we have to understand deeply, what are we even calling happiness? Is it conditional or is it unconditional? Because happiness ideally is unconditional. It just is, right? True joy, true happiness is whatever is there right now, there's peace with it. Even if it's pain, there is peace with it. So there is no state of unrest. Now, it's very important to see that, because sometimes when we have mood swings, it's also because we hold on to pleasure states very, very strongly. And then other things irritate us. So it's helpful to think about that. It's helpful to sort of pay attention to that. Sometimes when I meditate, I experience a lot of pain in my hands. How do I understand that? Uh, what meditation does is, because you are very, very aware and very, very mindful, naturally it makes you aware of what is happening. Body has its own way of resolving things. Sometimes this could be related to an emotional space in the body that we are not conscious of. Sometimes it could be related to something that physically needs to resolve. What we ideally need to do is we need to watch it with kindness, compassion. And if it's too much, if you need to move it a little, please move it. You don't have to stoically bear pain. That's not the idea. It has to be a balance between some effort and some relaxation. So we are putting in effort to stay with what is there. We are also being compassionate and relaxing around it. Both these together is what we have to try and work with. So there's no way. Some people say we feel heavy in the head. Some people say we feel a particular point which is burning. All kinds of subtle body reactions can sort of manifest as gross reactions or very clear reactions in meditation. Okay, so and I'm also happy about doing the practice together again. Okay. Uh, I experienced moments of peace that was beautiful. I am finally able to ground myself. Wonderful. That's what we have to see. Those few minutes are the entry point. Those few minutes tell us that this is possible. This is a possible state. Then those few minutes expand into more minutes, expand into even more minutes, become a more natural mode of living. That's exactly how it happens. You get convinced about this practice when you experience these few minutes of when I let my mind be out, I can actually just experience. There's nothing to grasp. There's nothing to deflect. I'm okay, and that awareness that I'm okay, fundamentally okay, is I think one of the greatest gifts of this practice. Most of the times we do feel peaceful, relaxed. We do not feel peaceful or relaxed, and at ease after mindfulness practice. What are the tips to make mindfulness practice effective? We feel what we feel. See, mindfulness is not about feeling relaxed. That's a misconception. Mindfulness is about feeling what we are feeling. If we are not relaxed, can we stay with that? If we are relaxed, can we stay with that without jumping and saying, "Yay, I felt so peaceful today"? No, that's not mindfulness. Because then we are grasping at relaxation and we are trying to hold on to relaxation. Relaxation becomes like pleasure. And when we are not relaxed, we'll become upset. Then we become conditional. This practice must make me relaxed. No, this practice is bringing my attention to whatever is there. If lack of relaxation is there, I'm creating space for that. That is resilience, right? Life is not going to be always easy. Sometimes it's painful. What about being relaxed with pain? This contradictory understanding, it is so counterintuitive, right? It's so counterintuitive. We have all our lives thought and learned that if you have a breakup, you can't be relaxed. If you lose something, you can't be relaxed. If you don't achieve something, you can't be relaxed. If you've had a bad performance appraisal, you can't be relaxed. No, it is what it is. If you have a bad performance appraisal, if you feel sad and rejected, can you relax with that rejection? Is it at least can your system say, it's okay to feel this way? It's okay to feel rejected. Like I said in the beginning, why not me? So many people are rejected in so many ways. Why can't I be rejected? See, that's where the peace really enters the system. It's the same, Nikita. The answer is the same that I was answering for Vijendra so far. It is peace with the anger. If anger comes up, it's because anger is there. If in meditation anger comes up, after meditating anger comes up, it's because anger is there. When we are quiet, when we are watching, what is there comes up and becomes obvious. Otherwise, we are distracting, it's not obvious. Now it's obvious. So we are staying with whatever comes up in our awareness, and we are making peace with it. And we are also kind and compassionate to it. Now, it's not easy, but it's a practice. It's not easy to be compassionate to your anger. Is it easy? No, no, not at all. There's a teacher, Thich Nhat Hanh, some of you know him. I really like him, and I often refer to his analogy of how to work with anger, what he says, because I find it so beautiful. And he says that treat your anger as if it is a closed flower bud like this, and keep shining the sunshine of your compassion. Be kind to yourself that you're angry. Don't be angry with yourself that you're angry. Don't be upset with yourself that you're angry. How can you be kind to yourself when you're angry? So you keep shining this light of compassion. Just because you do it one day, the flower is not going to open. But when you keep doing it, slowly the flower can open. So imagine, the analogy says, treat your anger like a flower. I mean, it's beautiful, right? We never think of anger like a flower. But it's that kind of attitude that we want to develop towards our emotions, towards ourselves. An attitude of extreme acceptance and kindness for whatever is there. Yeah. So if anger comes up, just support the anger. Say, I'm feeling angry. I know I'm feeling angry. Can I stay with it? A book for mindfulness? Yes, I can suggest a couple of books. One of my favorite books to start with mindfulness is the book of, it's called The Miracle of Mindfulness. It's by Thich Nhat Hanh. Let me type the name of the author for you. Salil, can you type it? You know the spelling of Thich Nhat Hanh? Because for me, okay, I'm typing it. Thich Nhat. I should type it. One sec, I'll type it. Yeah, this is the name. And another book is the Mindfulness in Simple English. That's by, it's a famous book, you'll get it. It's by Venerable Henepole Gunaratna, but you'll get it. Don't worry about the name. It's called Mindfulness in Simple English. I've also written a free ebook. It's available on the website. A free book on mindfulness. It's just a very small book to start the practice of mindfulness, and it's called The First Few Steps to Mindfulness. That may also be of use. So maybe a few of these books you can read. Oh, I'm so happy to know you practice daily. And I'm so happy that your anger has decreased, Aarti. Thanks for letting me know. Really, it makes me really happy when you let me know that things have changed. I've been practicing. It makes me very joyful. Thank you for sharing that. I said the author I've written, Thich Nhat Hanh, and I've also written, okay, there's a correction, Thich Nhat Hanh, so okay. And there is also Mindfulness in Simple English, and I said there is also a book, free PDF book that I've written, just to help people start with the practice. That was the intention, because the questions that you're asking come up all the time. So very, very like a 40-pager, quick to read book that just explains the entire concept and practice, so that you can practice after that. Thanks, Anshul, for writing. Okay, Mir wants to suggest a book, Old Path, White Clouds. That's another great book, but that's more about the Buddha's life. So if you're interested in knowing more about that, then please read the book Mihir is suggesting. It's a great book. How is peace? How is peace everything? Okay, tell me what else is. Peace is, okay, peace does not mean a sedentary, resigned state of being. Peace means being able to be with whatever comes to you. Now the point is, things will come, good and bad, pleasure and pain. Now you can fight with that. If pleasure comes, you can hold on tightly and say, oh, this is great, I don't want this to change, I'm in a great space and I don't want this to go away. Or you can say, oh, what is come is bad. I don't want to see it. I don't like it. This needs to change. I need to fix it. Now, you can work to change and fix it. Nobody's stopping you from that. If things go wrong, yeah, by all means, work to change and fix it. But at every point of that work, can you be peaceful with what is there? That's the point. The point is not don't work, resign. The point is while you work to change it, you have to recognize A, things may change, B, they may not change. You may get the results you want, you may not get the results you want. It is out of your control. But you can work to change it. But can you at every step be changed, be able to change, stay with it? That's all. Can you be at peace at every step? So that is what we are trying to cultivate. I know it seems ideal, but that's what we're trying to cultivate. Right now, can I be with what is there? Yeah, peace is every step, okay? That's the name of the book. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying to you also. So, okay, wonderful. Wonderful. I'm glad we had time to chit chat, had a good session, and time to meditate together also. So, a happy Mindfulness Day, and I hope you spend the day in more awareness and maybe take out time to be more silent, however it is possible. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Bye. Thank you. Thank you all for being here and meditating together. Thank you. Bye.